Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my Immigrant Diary. My name is Precious.
And my name is Wale. Today we have, it's an exciting news. It's more or less like celebrating after the fact. Precious got a job. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to let my brother Precious speak about the story and, more importantly, what's the information that is going to be useful for you guys out there, whether you're moving to the US or you're moving to anywhere. How will you can apply that to your own situation, and how will you can use that to be able to get a job even faster than we did, if possible. So, Precious, my brother, take it away.
All right, thanks, Wally. So today I just want to share about my journey on finding a job after moving to the US. Even though I would like to state that this is in retrospect, it has happened a couple of months ago, but we're just finally coming around to share the story. Yeah, it's my story. I hope you find something useful and then find information that in the story can improve your own experience when you move to a place like the US. My goal when I moved was I wanted to continue from where I stopped. Before I moved, I had a lot of experience in, sales and marketing, product management, some kind of tech experience, and also in project experience. So I was hoping that
tech experience. Bro, you were working in a tech company. What do you mean some kind of tech experience? massive tech experience.
So tech experience is vast. So this is also an opportunity to let people know that tech experience doesn't necessarily mean coding, like Wally codes. I don't code, but I'm able to work in product. I'm just being Wally, he said that got me laughing. But anyway, I've worked in tech for many years in Nigeria. So I have a lot of experience in tech product development, in marketing, in sales, in the whole 9 yards from ideation to completion. So I've had all those experience, and my goal moving to the US is to kind of continue from where I stopped, just continue on that trajectory. But you never know. So I moved to the US, but it was different because part of my family was in the US, part of my family was with me, so I moved with my son. For those of you who have been following us, you know my story. So I moved with my son. So now we have a whole family. When I landed, I just hit the ground rolling, started applying for work. I used platforms like Indeed, LinkedIn. I kind of updated my LinkedIn profile. I just kept doing that and just kept applying. Being someone that was very productive in Nigeria for many years, it was really challenging the first couple of months. I will be very honest. It can be really challenging. It can be really lonely because I'm like, what I've got to myself into. I need to get out there, start working, start providing for my family. I wanted to continue from where I stopped. But that wasn't happening. But the interesting thing is, I kept applying. And the good news was that I did interview with organizations that I would never have believed would be interested in me, looking at the fact that I don't have an experience in America. So I interviewed with companies like Capital One, Geico, just to mention a few international organizations. Some of them progressed to second stage, third stage, but nothing really clicked. And I was kind of worried. As time progressed, tension got really worse. While I just started struggling, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? This couple of months already, nothing is happening. But there are very many options for different people. So for me, I decided, you know what? While I'm applying for a job, just sit at home and have my wife provide was a really tough challenge. As a typical Nigerian or African man, we got to provide. So I figured out that there are a lot of opportunity in the US. Why don't I fill out my time by being a gig worker? So I became a gig worker at the same time, making sure daily I applied to jobs. I scheduled my interviews. So that way it was flexible. But beyond that, there were other factors, right? I had kids to look after. So my wife had a full-time job. So I was able to contribute at the same time, manage your home while waiting to get a job. Fast forward the past 6 months now, I was already getting really stressed out. I wasn't sure what to do. There were very many opportunities, but I just wanted what I wanted, right? I had my goals. I wanted to pursue it. And so I decided, you know what? While I'm waiting to do that, maybe I could drift a bit and see what happens. So guess what? I decided to start attending job fairs. Job fairs are other opportunities or ways one can really access job opportunities here in the US. There are a lot of job fairs around. And also beyond just going for job fairs, it was an opportunity to also build network so I can begin to expand my reach. Fast forward past 6 months, like I mentioned, I finally got a job in law enforcement. But that's not what I wanted, right? But I told myself, you know what, maybe I can take it in stride. And I felt it was an adventure. I'm that person. Not everybody's adventurous. I was like, oh, my wife was livid with like, what kind of crazy ideas? I was like, hey, it's just some form of local experience, so to speak, because I wasn't sure why I wasn't getting the offers after progressing in some of the interviews. I know maybe I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't want to conclude that, oh, is this or that, because I've heard stories of people who have moved to the US and been able to continue in their career just the way I was desiring. And so I didn't want to give up, and I wanted to focus on that. Anyways, I was excited about law enforcement because I felt like, well, you know what, I was going to go to the academy. I was looking forward to, being trained to shoot gun and all, and just kind of things, self-defense. I was just excited about it. My wife thought I was crazy. I was out of my mind, maybe because I was bored, maybe for whatever reason. But you never know. Even at that, I knew that wasn't really what I wanted. I kept applying. I kept interviewing. One of the things that happened was that I kept trying to increase my network. I had this friend who I met in Liberia over a decade ago. I met him when I went for a conference. We kept in touch through Facebook and Instagram and the rest. But anyways, he moved to the US a couple of months before I did. And so when I moved, we met up, and it happened to be that he was living a few blocks away from where I lived. And so we kept the friendship. Our family became friends. And through that period, he kind of supported me when I came, in terms of the fact that I didn't have a car when I landed. I needed someone to kind of pick me up, help me get to certain place, to get an interview, get to the market, to buy stuff. So it was very helpful. Well, I was sharing that, hey, this is my progress with job. I was going to resume with law enforcement, but I was undergoing, remote training at that time. So I was doing my training at home. I had not resumed at my location. Then he told me, oh, he works for a global organization, just one of the kind of organization I'll be interested in. I said, hey, I'm working in project. Yeah, you've done some projects. I said, yeah, I've done a lot of projects. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm moving roles. Why don't you apply to this role when the role comes up? You know what? When they publish the role, I will let you know. So he did. He let me know. I applied for the role. And guess what? I did the interview. I was confident I did well. Just like every other interview, I'm always confident I do well. But interestingly, I got an offer just 1 week after resuming in law enforcement. I was mega excited, like, wow, this is actually in line with what I wanted to do. More than that, it was a global organization. I have a foot in the door. It was great because this is also a global organization. Beyond that, just to speak about the benefit, it was mind-blowing. Guess what? Among all the benefits that this new job came with, one of the major ones for me was the fact that I was provided with what you call tuition remission. Interestingly, when I got a job with law enforcement, there's something called sign-on bonus. I was going to get, I think, 5,000 to 10,000 sign-on bonus after a couple of months of resuming. And so there was just so many perks that was just mind-blowing for me as an immigrant, because where I'm coming from, there's never really free perks, right? We got to really work to earn what we get. Look at me, all of a sudden, in less than 1 year, I got a job with a global organization, a job that provides so many benefits. And one of the benefits is something I've taken advantage of, which is tuition remission. And with that, I'm able to further my education. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree free of charge. If I was going to pay out of pocket, that would have cost me $25,000, Wally. So I'm telling you that this is mind-blowing. It's very uncommon, but it's not impossible. This story I'm sharing, I'm hopeful that it can inspire anyone who is watching it and say, hey, this can also happen for me. Never settle for less. Never assume it's impossible. Don't let what the naysayers get to you. Keep at it. I can guarantee you that at the end of the day, you will come out at the top. Just to also mention, I'm still on my journey. I'm not at the point where I feel I should be in terms of continuing my career from where I was and where I am. But I think I'm closer to where I'm going to than where I probably was while in the US. So, hey, that's a summary of my story. I hope you find something interesting. I hope you find something you can learn from. And that's it. Thanks, Wally.
Yeah, for me, I would pick something out of all the things that you've spoken about. I think something that, especially the thing that led you to get the job, which is, your relationship with your friend, right? So that's something that a lot of people do take off for granted. And I just want to emphasize on that your network is so important when it comes to looking for a job. So for me, I know when I moved, I would go to these meetups, meet with people, connect with people online, even when they are students or they are even like other kind of professional. I just connect with them. If they are students, if they are looking for work, I'll just connect them with people that I know. Just different kind of thing. You never know where you will be able to make progress in the career that you're pursuing. So networking is very, very important, especially when you just move. You need that connection to be able to progress, especially quickly than you would imagine. It's a huge benefit building your network as soon as possible when you move to a different country or to a new city. So thank you so much, Precious, for sharing with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Of course, I understand, we try to limit the time, so you've crammed a lot of things into this small amount of time that we have. But yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, you can leave your comment down below. We'll try to respond as quickly as possible about, trying to get something, whether it's you're a student or you're, a professional, you moved. If you just need networking. We can, if we have the contact, we can definitely help with that and point you in the right direction. So thank you for joining us today. Please also like, share, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
All right then.